Welcome everyone to Group F of the round of 32. I'm your caster, Big Fan. Today we will have a TVP. Our first player, Free, our Protoss with the stars, 17-13 overall. And his opponent will be Flash. Everyone knows Flash, there's no need for introductions. 5-2 overall. So this game will be played on Locate 2. So this should be pretty fun. It'll be interesting to see what either player throws at the other. Fighting. So our Red Terran at 2 o'clock, Flash. And looks like I do see a probe moving up on the mini-map. So it looks like Free is going to be going for a proxy gateway early on. We'll see where he decides to plant this. But you can see he barely just has the 3, so it's one of his starting probes. So, I mean, if it's going that early, he might want to get something in Flash's base to go before his first scouting SCV comes out. So we'll have to wait and see. One thing to quickly mention is that in the Ever OSL that just finished, Flash did end up making the quarterfinals, and his best is the semis in the Dam OSL, while Free's best is the quarterfinals from the last MSL. So you can see they both have been doing pretty decently for themselves. Now, Flash's defense and scouting is extremely important here. If he decides to go for any eco openings, rather than going for the standard, racks opening, or let's say, then he will be in trouble. We do see another probe coming out as well. And you can see he's only 4 probes, so he's definitely back up for that gateway to go up ASAP once the pylon is done. The first gate is going up. Now the question is, will Flash... looks like he is ready for he gets the racks even before the depot, so he might be sensing something here. Now the question is this going to be scouted? It's quite a bit in the far end. And it's important that Free delays this Marine as much as possible. And he's doing a fantastic job so far. So you can see the glitching going on. Of course, the probe will have to be pulled back, but the gateway is almost finished. And the racks isn't even, it's about halfway done or so. So this is definitely work to Free's advantage, but this is unscouted so far, and that's the best part about this for Free. The more he's able to keep this unscouted, the better, and the worse Flash's response will end up being as a result. So is there going to be a second gateway coming? Oh! And it looks like no, it looks like he's actually just waiting. Okay, that makes more sense. Looks like he's just going to pull his cells, and we do see the gas. We do see a Marine being made now. In fact, it will be going up soon. But, oh, did he not scout this yet? It's very interesting, actually. The SCV should be in range. So we're gonna see how good Flash's defense is. So that's 2 cells out. Free has to get the Marine if he can, but he has to make sure he's not get surrounded. That's 1 SCV down. So Flash is not doing a bad job to surround the zealots. Actually, his defense is pretty immaculate so far. But that's 2 SCPs down. He does get the probe. That is a great move. And the Marine is still alive, but the Marine will go down because of the block there. The second Marine has to survive. He does not want to lose that. He wants to try and survive until the Vulture is out, because the Vulture will help him easily push these zealots back. Now, his defense hasn't been so bad so far, but he's lost what? About... oh, and he loses SCV. That's about 4 or 5 SCVs now, and the fact is still delayed. And looks like he's going to actually lose that Marine, basically. Oh no, the factory is done. That is great news for Flash. But there is a third Z going out. The Marine is down. Oh, and he almost gets the second Marine as well. So Free's not doing too badly himself. He has to. You guys have to remember that he actually sacrificed a lot of economy to get these zealots out. Oh, now the Vulture is out. This is going to be fantastic. It's going to need a lot of good micro, but this will help Flash clean up. Now, his Vulture is extremely low as well, so 1 more hit will kill it. The Marine will go down. But we do see more and more zealots. Now, on the other hand, we do see another gateway, and the core is up. So from my perspective, I think Free did a fantastic job. He did a lot of mining. He's killed about, what, 6 SCVs? That's a 7th SCV there. He's killed a couple of Marines. The Vulture was extremely low, so that's a lot of minerals being wasted to heal it up. So even if this Gate 1 Paladin go down, economically, he'll still be in a better position. And the Zealot is gonna get the last Marine potentially. No, it doesn't look like it. And he still has still another 3 SCVs just loitering around, basically. Just non-mining, basically trying to get that Paladin down so the Gateway can be killed. Now, if a Dragoon pops out here, it would be very interesting, actually, because I think a Dragoon would wreak a lot more havoc, but he would need more than one. Fraz does feel confident enough, so he is moving the Vulture across the map. Oh, and we see the Dragoon is actually out, and that other mini will go down. Now, Flash is targeting the pylon with the other SCV. I think that's a very good idea. You don't want more and more goons to keep popping in here, and the pylon is almost down. Now, the Dragoon has already gotten 2 kills and delayed quite a bit of the mining with the SCVs. So I don't think it's a bad idea for Flash just to kill. And it looks like the Paladin is down, so that Gateway is unpowered now. But it has done quite a bit of damage. And that looks like it was another SCV that went down as well. So even more and more. And this Dragoon is still alive, just buying more and more time. Now the question is, what does Free decide to do at this point? We do see the second Gateway going up. Is he going to go for like a Reaver follow up? Looks like I see I'm probably back. He's gonna get like the expansion, what looks like. So a proxy, a Gateway into the core, 2 Gateways in the main, followed up by a Nexus expansion. Not a bad idea. He will have to get the Robo though to start to get the Observers and potentially Reavers as well as a good follow up, just because you know that because the Vultures are out, Flash will eventually be getting mines, and it could put mines are potentially being researched there, because those will help limit the movement of Free around the map, and that's exactly what Flash would like to do. That will help Flash basically get up his eco. Do you see the Robo going down as well? So that is quite a bit of goons, 3 goons for 3 Vultures, so Flash can't really do once he has to pull back. But keep in mind that once mines, okay, so mines are finished at this point. And I'll see a probe, is that a probe or that might be a probe moving down just to do a bit of scouting. Yeah, it was a probe. Flash is getting his CC behind this. The mine should keep him safe for now, but once the Observers are out, he will have to, he should have some tanks out, because the goons versus Vultures are not going to win that kind of a fight unless you have a massive amount or doing, you know, a nice surround with some mine drags and such. This probe is going to get caught, looks like. Yeah, this probe will get caught. So Free will not give the information he would like. And you can see he is playing it safe by just pulling his units back up on the high ground. Observer is coming out, so once this Observer is out, he will have a good idea what Flash is doing. It is in a great position. Flash is also doing a great job trying to recover. His army is up, his second factory is up. But his army is still far away from being done. So if Free decide to end up, let's say, going for getting the Robotics Bay a bit earlier, having the Reaver with the Turtles as well, then it could get there before the Goliath potentially are out. It just honestly depends on that, because you can see the shuttle is already out. But there might also be some kind of an elevator going into the main, so we'll see what Free decides to do with the shuttle. So I wonder if part of the reason that Free showed the shuttle is that he knew that there will be mines there, so he wanted Flash to believe that there is a shuttle coming his way and have him play more defensively, because we can see that Free looks like he is going to take his expansion, because there is a probe near his yeah, he's going to take his expansion. And keep in mind that now the Goliaths are out. Because the idea is that if Free ended up doing something really crazy, such as going for faster Reavers, they would have been out before the armory, or right before the Goliath would have been out, or before there's a bigger count basically. But at the same time, by just showing the shuttle, Flash does have to consider the possibility of something coming his way, because again, he didn't really scout what's in Free's base. He just knows about the proxy. Now this shuttle will be scouted by the vultures, so the Reaver will have to be oh, okay, this is gonna get intercepted. So he actually I don't think this is gonna survive. Is this gonna be... Oh, okay, just in the nick of time. There is a couple of SCV, so because of a couple of guys going down. Looks like he actually wants to deny this, as this would not be a bad idea. He can actually target the Goliath honestly and get them and kill them as well. So I think that would be an extremely good idea. And by killing the Goliath, there's gonna be no anti-air, so this shuttle and the Reaver can survive infinitely with good control. And with that denied, Free is basically, his economy is in a better position. Oh, and if he gets that thing, it'll be a big one. Oh, and he even gets the Vulture and denies the CC once again. Now this was... Free does not want to lose this many goons, and this was probably a misclick on his part. It looks like we do see the Stargates coming up. The carrier, I expect the field beacon to be up shortly if it's not already. I'm not personally sure what the Dragoon's doing there. It must have been a misrally by Free, because there is no observers there. But I mean, he does look like he has a bit of goons at home, what, 6, 7? So he needs to be careful because there is a couple of mines near the high ground. So there's the fleet beacon. Now, I don't believe I don't believe Flash has scouted this just yet, because once he's scouted, he's going to start having to add on turrets. And again, keep in mind, 4 carriers is kind of the magical number where things will slowly go out of control with a good micro, and as long as they have interceptors. Oh no, he does not want to lose that shuttle. Oh, that was bad. That Reaver would have paid off in dividends, especially if he decided to a frontal bust, because we do see there is quite a bit of goons there, but he also would have needed some zealots as well to absorb some of the damage. Now the one thing that plays in Free's part is between the carriers not being known about and the fact that Flash only just has the 2 factories. He is going to pull ahead further army-wise, especially once these carriers are up, because he's essentially making 3 carriers at once. So in 2 rounds, that's about 6 carriers, but carriers do take a while to make, and the interceptors as well. And 3 Goliath is not going to cut it, because Free does have an idea of what Flash's army is. I do expect that some kind of let me take a look and see. So yeah, the Citadel is coming in, so speed for the Zealots, which is why he's making the Zealots now, because he will be researching that soon enough. And we do see the double armory as well, and if I'm not mistaken, they are both spinning. It is a bit hard to make out. So I do expect to see 1-1 in the near future. Now Free's positioning is very interesting. You can see a couple of units on the top side, so it looks like those might be there for catching potential drops. He does have some units out for outside the base of Flash as well, just to catch any movements as well. It would have been great if there was like a unit just near the bottom, just in case a drop comes from there. But it looks like Flash is making Goliath now, so he must have an idea of the carriers. And as we saw, the core was spinning, the attack will be coming up for the carriers. So one thing that would be nice, and they haven't shown it yet, and so 1-1 or 1 is finished, the attack is finished for the mech army. One thing that would be nice if he is going for more and more carrier is for him to get another core and just get some of the upgrades up. So there's 3 carriers. It's more than likely he's just going to get the interceptors up. It looks like he's going to expand to a 4th base, which is not a bad idea because he does have the turn back on the 3 bases. And yeah, it's not a bad idea. He's more likely just going to move it once he has 6 carries and some, if not most, have some interceptors in them. Because right now Flash doesn't seem like he wants to move it just yet. He is getting quite a bit of a large army though. This is definitely an army that Free has to be wary of. And he has gone up to about 7 factories, if I'm not mistaken. And he has 1-1 now, so he's actually moving for like a timing attack, basically. So depending on Flash's control and how Free handles his attack and the defense. Now it does feel like Free should probably, I don't know if he's trying to come from the backside. He might be waiting for Flash to cross the bridge and then just wrap around. Wouldn't be a bad idea, especially with the carriers being up there, but this could potentially get him stuck between two armies. And I feel like this is just still a bit early from my perspective, because the army is still there, the army is going to come back. And you can see he basically has to struggle to basically run back because he doesn't want to lose that shuttle. So the idea was not bad. I feel like he should have waited a bit more, but it feels like Flash might have been a bit aware of this, which is why he kept his army near the bridge. So it looks like it's 2-1 is actually ready for Flash. So his double army is paying dividends. What about the army for Free? I don't believe they have any upgrade. And the carriers have 1-1 as well. That's perfect. But there is quite a bit of Goliath, and the carrier and the interceptor count is extremely low. So I feel at this point in time, Free should probably pull a bit back and get some of those interceptors healed up. But he is doing a nice job picking off a lot of the tanks. And once the tanks, oh, and this is not too bad if he can drop some of the units on top of the tanks. But there is a nice knife from the Goliath, and you can see how the damage on the shuttle did. And yeah, this is essentially going into Flash's play at this point in time, because even though there is a lot of interceptors, Free's army has completely melted, and the interceptor count is extremely low. So Flash has a good chance of pushing and denying at least the 4th base, and probably potentially even pushing the expansion. But there is about 7 carriers here, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe 8 carriers. So Free, so it's not. Oh, and he even gets a carrier as well. So Flash is quite the beast even in this game. The positioning for this isn't bad. I would love if he was to move the Goliath just a bit back, because it looks like a lot of the Goliath are throwing up a lot of the Zealot hits. And that's our attacking. Oh, but he's gonna get another carry as well. Oh wow, that was fantastic. And he's not gonna get this last carry, or actually he will. Wow. And this base is the 4th is now denied. So it looks like Flash read Free's play extremely well. He moved it just when his 2-1 timing finished. And he's gotten a couple of carriers. He's killed the whole army. Now, one thing to mention is that this map, even though it is a small sample size, it is a bit more advantageous for PvT. I believe the last I checked was 6-3 at this time. And that's another map carrier that's going to go down. And looks like it's a second one too. Wow, okay. This game 100% in Flash's favor at this point. I don't see how Free can come back from this. 2 carriers, honestly, they're scary, but not the scariest. And look like the High Templars, do they even have any energy on them? It doesn't look like it. So Flash is just going to basically bust this expansion. And I expect a GG once this goes down. Because what can Free do? He's up against a 4-base Terran with the 4 gases. Those carriers aren't going to do much once a couple of Goliaths get there. And Free's already lost his 4th. He's going to lose his expansion. He's got a lot of probes in the process. So it's just looking worse and worse for him. And that's a lot of Goliath. Looks like they are actually stuck. But we do get the GG from Free. So well played by Flash. That double armory 2-1 timing was great. He had fantastic placement. And Free did have a small chance. And this proxy was nice early on, but it wasn't enough to beat Flash.